Welcome to part 2 of Why Guys Are Assholes. In this section, I'm going to talk about what'll happen after the date. So, let's get started, shall we? Okay, well, during the dinner, he's probably gonna be a nice guy. Probably as nice as your best friend who's been trying to go out with you forever. But since your date was an asshole in the beginning, I'm referring to part 1, you gave him a shot. Well, anyway, whether it happens in 1 or 3 dates, depending on what kind of a girl you are, chances are you're gonna have sex with him. Which is another thing your best friend has been trying to do forever, but, we're not really talking about him right now, right? Point is, the guy was an asshole in the very beginning, even insulted your best friend, and in the end, you slept with him. Nice. Although the guy is most likely just gonna go home and go out with his buds, or maybe even just call them, and then tell them how easy you were. Yes, sorry, it happens. Quite often. Girls talk about how romantic he was, and guys talk about how perfect your tits were when the bra finally came off, and if there was anything special or odd about you. Anywho, if he stays with you after the first sex, which is like a 60-40 chance, he will remain a nice guy for a while. I mean, whether it's for 3 weeks or several months. But fact is, he'll try to be the guy that you've always dreamed of. Your Prince Charming, if you will. Because that's what all girls want. The asshole got to have a girlfriend, and he got to keep her, whereas your best friend, the nice guy, got to stay single with a hot friend who's getting sex from his enemy, pretty much. Oh, and just a note, it is possible that your new boyfriend is going to your best friend and telling him about how good you are in bed. Just to make him suffer. So a few months go by, he's continuing to be Mr. Prince Charming. Slowly but surely, he's going to turn into the asshole he once was. First, he'll turn into a real jerk towards everyone. Not something everyone will notice right away. Okay, well, for example, it'll start maybe once a week, maybe on a Monday. He'll start to have bad days at work and act all pissy when he gets home. He'll be grumbling and such. But once he realizes he can get away with that, it'll happen more and more often. But not too quickly. It's gonna happen very, very slowly. Or quickly, the guy could be a moron. So after a while, you start to notice that his worst days at work are on a Monday. So you try to do something nice for him. Dinner and a beer. Usually, dinner's hot and ready for him. And, beer's all ready for him. Because you're such a nice girlfriend. Always thinking of him. Well, maybe the first couple times, or maybe just the first time, he tells you how much he appreciates it. That he's so lucky to have a girlfriend like you. Someone so beautiful and supporting. He loves you. A few more weeks pass, he's starting to get pissier and pissier during the week. And not just Mondays. So you start to do a thing where it's dinner and a beer. All ready for him all week. Because, he has such a hard job. He's got to get home to relax and... It's not too much gratitude there. I mean, he'll still say he appreciates it, He'll still act pissy, but he'll be like, I really do appreciate it, hun. Just letting you know that. I'm sorry, I'm not in a good mood, though, But you understand. After a while, all the gratitude's gone. You've gotten to the habit of making him a dinner and a beer ready for him when he gets home. And so, you're feeling stressed. I mean, you've been working. So while your boyfriend's at work, you remember you have a best friend who always makes you feel better. So you call him. You say your boyfriend's at work and he's been pretty pissy lately. And you wonder if he can go out for some coffee or something, just to hang out, catch up. Of course! Your best friend will never say no to you. You're the girl he wants! Such a reliable friend in your time of need. So you spend a few hours catching up. Hey, you haven't talked to him in a while, right? Maybe a text or an email here or there, but no real updates. Other than, yes, I'm still with him, and he's amazing. Oh no! Your boyfriend will be home soon, and you completely forgot about dinner! So you go home feeling slightly refreshed. I say slightly because you're about to go home and rush to make dinner ready because you feel like your boyfriend's gonna kill you if it's not ready by the time he gets home. So your boyfriend comes home to see you still cooking. Rather, just started cooking. Because you kind of just got home. So he asks you what you did all day. Because you usually have it all ready for him. He comes home and it's like, what happened? Are you mad at him or something? No, of course not. You're running a little late because you were hanging out with your best friend, So, he pretends to understand, but looks disappointed at the same time. And, he knows how to make you feel guilty about it. It's like, oh, such a bad day at work. However, inevitably, it's gonna happen again. You're going to forget his dinner. And this time he explodes. I work all day! Can't even get a dinner ready for me? God, what an inconsiderate bitch! And you guys fight for a while. But later on, let's say later in the night, right before you guys usually have sex, he apologizes. He comes up and, he looks all sad. I had such a bad day at work. I'm really sorry. I had no right to take it out on you like that. Please, can you forgive me? I love you. And you're kind of what's holding me together right now. Because, he was kind of, he was having such a bad day at work. He was really hoping to get home and spend his day with the one he loves, with a hot dinner ready, and so you guys work things out. But you know what? You're always going to be nervous from then on if he's going to flip out again. So next time you're out with your friends, you're telling them all about this. And so finally they pop the question, so why do you stay with him? If he's acting like a jerk, why are you staying with him? You can do better than that. You deserve better than that. Here comes the conclusion and the excuses to why women stay with their asshole boyfriends. He's been a real jerk lately, but come on, he's had it rough the last few weeks. He doesn't have an easy job. He is a good guy. Yeah, he's rough on the outside, but he's sensitive on the inside. He's actually really sweet. He was such a gentleman in the beginning. Something must be bothering him, and I know I can help him. Because he loves me. He told me. So anyway, does any of this sound familiar? It should, because you're probably one of them. And I say probably because obviously it doesn't pertain to all situations. But guess what? That's all I'm going to say about this because I think I've made it too long as it is. So guess what? There's going to be a part 3! Yay! So I would like comments. I like comments. So tell me, does any of this sound familiar? Did you do this kind of thing? Did you have a girlfriend that did this kind of thing? Or not a girlfriend. Did you have a best friend that did this kind of thing? Did you have a friend who did this kind of thing? Man, I can't wait for part 3. Oh, P.S. I'm looking for a title. Like a title to my show. I know it's not really a show, but I kind of want a title. I was thinking about Dustin's Opinion, but I just realized it's kind of stupid. So, I would like any title suggestions. Thanks.